What's up, YTPC? Uncle Willie coming to you from the coop. Just got back from Boswell's. Little tobacco, sorry about that. Picked up a couple tins. Some Robert McConnell Scottish Flake and Scottish Cake. Haven't tried it. It's made in Germany in the blending house of Kohlhaas and Kopp, which seems to be like the major blending house over in Germany. A lot of blends come out from that manufacturer. But anyway, today is part 3 for recommendations for new pipe smokers. And it can be for new or old smokers. And old is what I mean by veterans or seasoned, not necessarily old, because if I did, I'd have to include myself. And I'm only as old as I feel. Sometimes that's pretty old. Anyway, first subject's gonna be tongue bite. 99% of us have had it. 75% of us don't know why or how. But people have 100 reasons why you get tongue bite. Some people say it's the way you pack your pipe. Some people say it's because your tobacco's too moist. You're smoking too hot. You're getting too much moisture out of it by smoking too hot. They even go as far as saying the fire, because the match burns at like 600 degrees and a butane torch burns at 12 to 1500 degrees. I call BS on all of the above. From the research I've done, tongue bite is a chemical reaction. The pH in your system, in your mouth, reacts with the smoke moisture that you're getting, and it causes a chemical reaction that it's like a burn. So first of all, if you're smoking a blend and it's starting to irritate your tongue a little bit, dump it out. That's step 1. Change blends. Try it in a different pipe. If it starts to burn your tongue, dump it out. Get rid of it. Somebody will take it off your hands. No need to torture yourself just because you spent $12 or $15 on a tin. Is that worth the agony of the tongue bite that could last for a couple days? And then once you get tongue bite, you can get irritations on your tongue, which when you're starting to eat some French fries the next day, the salt from it will react with the open sores. So just change blends. A lot of people, well, straight Virginias usually bite me. And I know when I'm starting to get a little tongue bite, I can tell right off from the beginning if I'm going to be bitten or not. So you can try different things, but the number one thing to me is just dump it and try something different. I've got a few blends that I can't smoke because I get tongue bite. Other people smoke them all day long and not have any trouble. It's your body that's creating the irritations that you get. Some people have medical issues that create different irritations in their mouth, so it wouldn't be the same as typical tongue bite. If you're having serious issues, see a doctor. But if not, you can get tongue bite. Like I say, Virginias get me. Some people get it from goopy aromatics, and it's probably from the ingredient, not the tobacco. It could be the propylene glycol that they put in it. Could be because the pH in your tongue, in your mouth, your saliva isn't working. Carbonated drinks like Coke, and even some alcoholic beverages like wine coolers and whatnot that's carbonated. They can help irritate your tongue along with the tobacco from the acidity level of the drink. So a couple things for treatment that I would recommend. Number one, change blends. Yeah, I know it tastes good, but guess what? There's 1,000 more out there that taste just as good. Coat your mouth like with some milk, even chocolate. Take a Hershey Kiss or something like that and just let it dissolve. Don't eat it, just let it dissolve, and that'll help coat your mouth. You can use mouthwash like a Biotine. That's a recommendation from doctors alike for irritated mouths, not necessarily tongue bite, but for other irritations and stuff. A Biotine mouthwash, and or a mouthwash that contains aloe vera. Aloe vera is good for burns. If you burn your arm, you put aloe vera on it. Well, a chemical burn is a burn. So you can take aloe vera mouthwash, and that will help with the tongue bite. And if none of this has helped you with any of my recommendations or treatments, air conditioner's fixed. Cue the air conditioner. If none of this works for you, you can go online and do extensive research if that's what you want to do. A couple simple steps you can try first. If they don't work, then go foresee a different solution. Number one treatment for me, I would say change blends. Just get rid of whatever is irritating you and move on. The second item I want to touch on is nicotine. A lot of people get a strong nicotine hit, and it's actually considered a mild case of nicotine poisoning, because nicotine is a toxic, caustic chemical that's addicting. And when I say nicotine poisoning, I mean just a small, minute amount of poisoning. It's not like it's going to kill you. You'd have to smoke like 20 packs of cigarettes in a row, back to back, for enough nicotine to be fatal. But the adverse effects of nicotine can be dizziness, lightheaded, dizziness, nauseous, sick on your stomach, just feeling loopy. That's the first onsets of nicotine, a NicHit, a strong NicHit. Some tobaccos are really strong, some are really mild. You don't really know until you start smoking it how it's going to affect you because of your nicotine level that your body can withstand. For example, I got a friend that smoked Peterson nightcap, and he's only smoked it twice, and both times it's really messed him up. Smoking a big bowl of it, but he didn't realize it. A lot of times you don't realize it till you are done and you stand up. Like with cigars, a strong cigar on an empty stomach, that can even get to the most vested smokers. I mean, it happens to me occasionally, and I smoke cigars regularly. So nicotine really isn't something that bothers me because I have a strong tolerance for it. But some people don't. So when you start feeling woozy, if you feel it before you're finished, slack off. Put the bowl down, put the pipe down. Give yourself a little bit of time, drink some water. Water is good for everything. Drink some water. Now is when I would recommend a sugary drink, like a Coke, Pepsi, something that's got a good sugar content in it, or go back to the chocolate. I keep a bucket a 3-pound bucket of tub or whatever of M&Ms right inside there on my couch. Every night after I finish my last cigar or my last bowl or whatever it is, I go inside. I eat a handful of M&Ms every night. That helps. You can do chocolate. It works kind of like somebody that's going in insulin shock. I don't know if you ever been around a diabetic that all of a sudden they just get that, they're going into insulin shock. They can snap out of that by eating a piece of candy, a cookie, drinking some orange juice. Something sweet will, bam, and it'll bring them back. They're a little loopy, but they're back to normal. Same thing with the nicotine hit. You treat it the same way with sugar. That helps out. Long-term effect of nicotine poisoning, a couple hours later, you could actually get diarrhea. So if anything like that happens, I wouldn't seek medical attention because you think you're getting the flu or whatever, because you're getting dizzy and then you got diarrhea or whatever. It's common. The nicotine is a strong addictive drug. You should know that going into smoking, that all tobacco has nicotine in it. Some has more than others. Veteran smokers that smoke cigarettes for years, they can probably go into smoking pipes or cigars and never have any trouble. But then there's that occasional time that, like last week, I really didn't eat much dinner and I came out and had a cigar, and it was full flavor, full body cigar, and I smoked it down until it was done. And then when I got up and went inside, my insides was feeling like something was going on. I knew what it was. I knew it was the cigar. First thing I did was ate a handful of M&Ms. I got a drink. I'm diabetic, so I drink sugar-free drinks. But I did just put something in my system. I drank a drink, and then I drank water. Stay hydrated, because if you're not hydrated, nicotine can really get to you. Same with a lot of other things if you don't stay hydrated. So that's number one, stay hydrated. That's just for your own good health. That's just common sense, stay hydrated. But if you feel like you're getting a little woozy or whatever, at that point, stand up. Don't wait. Don't just sit there. Stand up, and stand up easy, nice and slow. Get your bearings and walk around and let your body absorb and come back to, I got a gnat flying around. I had him and lost him. But if you're starting to feel a little bit of it, get up and walk around. That way your whole body's absorbing it instead of just, your upper half. This way you let it get going, and it'll help you calm down. Then decide if you want to finish the cigar or finish your pipe or whatever. If you start feeling, better, eat a piece of chocolate while you're smoking. I have a couple cigars that when I smoke, I actually eat dark chocolate with them, because it brings out the flavors of the cigar. The same way when you're pairing some kind of liquid with a cigar or a pipe, that if you pair something with it, works the same way. Keep drinking best thing to do is drink water while you're smoking. Cigar, pipe, whatever. So hopefully this has been helpful for you. If this could steer you in the right direction on what to do, but I think first of all, if you start feeling woozy and whatever when you're smoking, stand up, walk around and get your bearings right, drink some water, possibly, like I said, eat some chocolate or something, walk around for 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, let the feeling overcome you and you're starting to feel a little better, then sit down and decide if you want to finish it or not. So hopefully this can help some of you. Some of you might agree, some of you might disagree, but that's what this is all about. You can agree to disagree. So I hope, like I said, I hope this helps some of you, all of you, any of you. I didn't do housekeeping. I'm smoking my Mark Twain cob with a forever stem on it. And inside I am smoking some Eric Stokeby 4th generation Jubilean flake, which is supposedly a pure Virginia. And it hadn't bit me yet. Usually the Virginias are what get me. So I done let it go out, everything. So there you go. Like I said, hopefully this helps out some of you. And until next time, you know what to do. Stuff them and puff 'em.